Hi, welcome back. This is The Perspective, and I'm talking to Charles Saerang. I'm Blaise Hope. Charles, so, PT Nyonya Meneer, your company, a giant in the Jamu herbal market. But let's go back to the beginning. Lao Ping Nyo,
yes,
your grandmother.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, she's the founder of we call it Nyonya Meneer. It's not the name itself, Nyonya Meneer, but it has the meaning of it, you know. Lao Ping Nyo is, of course, the real name, but before she was given birth, you know, her mother called her, people like to have a message before she gave birth. He would like to give a message. If I were to have a baby, I would like to call her a Meneer. Meneer is part of the rice, the outer shell of the rice. When you eat, there will be the outer shell of the rice. There's a brown color that would give a lot of good, I think, vitamin B.
It's the healthy rice, the red rice, the brown rice.
Right.
Yeah.
They call it Meneer, that one. Then when she was born, she was given the name called Meneer. But from the Dutch, outing the name, they call it Meneer. So it's pretty well known at that time, you know. So the picture of itself is my grandmother. So we try to show up that the identity of Nyonya Meneer as a reputable company, because we want to show it that is what she did for the rest of her life to grow, how to make it a very good prospect for the quality of the product.
So Nyonya means grandmother or daughter?
Yes, Nyonya is a lady.
It's a lady.
Lady,
okay.
Right.
So, but the difference between the company when you came in post-university to start working on it and now is huge.
It's much better, yeah.
And the industry has changed.
When I came here, it was about 150 people. Now it grows more than 4,000 people now from my employees. And we are growing fast because, I would say not because of the recipe, but because also we grow in terms of the R&D. We grow a lot of variety of products. Now we have about more than 400 varieties.
400 varieties?
Yes, that's right.
What sort of number of those dominate sales?
90% are women. Women mostly are for, I would say, like minyak talon is for baby ointment. It's very well known. We produce more than 2 million volume per month. So you can imagine that the number of baby born in Indonesia, they like to use that kind of things to eliminate draft. Of course, at the same time to make it the baby happy, in a way that if the mother gave all kinds of things. Yeah.
So mother care and
also we have a special 40 days after birth, and it's very well known because it's been there for years. Even though that kind of people going back to natural, people still believe that herbs part of their life, that they want to keep they kind of stay younger and keep them fit, and then trying to grow better for their life.
Now let's roll back the story. You went off to university in America.
That's right, Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, and you studied
marketing management.
So the story goes, you finished?
Yes, I finished 76, and then I went back because my father passed away. He passed away in Hawaii, and I went back, and I had to represent my father, because we were about five people to have shareholders. So we have a family dispute for about 20 years. It's not too good actually, but we learned a lot of this, what we have done so far. And in fact, I acquired the whole family shares and becomes only one of my shares, the whole thing. So we captured the whole shares for myself. And then I try to grow much faster. And this year I would like to of course, to go much growing faster, because the herbs industry is growing fast, and I believe that the new government now is showing very aggressive in terms of how to grow for the natural farmers, to grow all the herbs, not only for Indonesia but for world demand.
So let's talk about your operations now. Can you give us a brief overview? I know you have a base in Saerang,
yes,
in Central Java, the Central Java provincial capital.
Manufacturer.
Yeah, and how does that work? Is that within the city or on the outskirts?
Yes, it's in the city. Actually, it was a small house. It was built a small house. That's been more than about 70 years ago. And then now we keep buying the neighbors. We become like a smaller, like a manufacturer. Now we got a bigger one. And we have a special like a manufacturer, not starting from the raw materials up to the finished products. And since then, we try to grow, of course, for the R&D. We built also the museum to keep alive, that people should know what's going on for those 70, 80 years. Yeah. So the company was kind of made up in the year of 1895. And the company itself starting in 1919. And now it's 95 years, so another 5 years to become 100 years.
So that's a long history. That's brand recognition.
Right.
Now, so have you built enough recognition in the name Nyonya Meneer to build consumer trust?
Nationally, we are very well known in terms for the women, because 90% of those women living in Indonesia know Nyonya Meneer pretty well. But the capture of the market share, of course, not more than 34%. So we are growing fast in terms of the women side of the products.
That's Nyonya Meneer's market share,
yes,
34%.
of the Nyonya Meneer, the whole for women products. Huh? But of course, we also build now food supplement, the vitamin, natural products, and at the same time also we grow much faster in terms of capsule. We export to Taiwan, for example, about 3 to 4 million capsules a month, and for the demand of the Taiwanese.
Let me hold you there. We've got to take a break, but when we come back, we'll talk more about consumer trust, regulations, and more about Nyonya Meneer. Just a second.